Hey, so there is this line that we always say that I want us to make a commitment today to each other to remove this language from our vocabulary. All right. So I know it's been a minute since I've been on video. I hopped on here today to share two things with you really quick. And this first one, I need your help on. I need you to think of two women as I share this with you that you can think of that, yep, this message is for them. They need to hear this. I want you to tag them in the comments of this video. So here's the reframe. We often say, you know, so and so really needs to find her voice, or you probably say it to yourself, I got to find my voice so I can start to speak up more and get better at sharing my thoughts. I want you to reframe that thought. Instead of thinking about finding your voice, I want you to get familiar with your voice. Your voice isn't lost. Your voice isn't lost. You just aren't familiar with it. And I want to share with you quickly some ways that you can get more familiar with your voice, because at the end of the day, being more confident to communicate clearly in a compelling way that moves action, that sparks action, right? Whether you are a sales leader, as I used to be, started my career in sales and so grateful for that entry into the world of work, or whether you are an entrepreneur or business owner, or if you are a professional speaker like me, whatever your titles are in this current season, clear communication is going to help you advance. It's going to help you grow. So I want to share some ways that you can get familiar with your voice, because we often tell women, so-and-so needs to find her voice, find your voice, find your voice, find your voice. And I think that just really perpetuates this idea that we don't have all that we need. And if there's one belief that I'm really intentional in transferring to any opportunity, any professional that I get the opportunity to coach, is that you already have everything that you need to thrive. It's already in you, right? And so your voice, you have it. It's not lost. You just need to get familiar with it. So we're going to use an acronym. As y'all already know, I love those. It just helps us with retention. So the acronym is VOICE, right? So the V, really quickly, volunteer to contribute to the meeting. If you are a leader, if you know that you're a leader, you're in a work environment where you all do weekly team meetings, volunteer. Say, hey, I'd love to take this portion of the meeting to contribute to our team meeting this week, right? Get in the habit of volunteering to contribute to the meeting, right? We're talking about how you can get familiar with your voice. The O is to organize your thoughts. I go old school here, like old school, high school English class. What is my main point? What are my proof points? My main point today is that instead of us recycling in our mind that we need to find our voice, we just need to get more familiar with it. And I'm going through this VOICE acronym to give you some proof points of ways to get familiar with your voice. That's it, right? What is your main point and what are your proof points? That's how you're going to organize your thoughts. The I, be intentional in your meetings. You all, I will never forget this. And I'm going to shout him out here because I share this story often. Gerald McRae, who is like a brother to me. He's a good friend of mine, but I'll never forget. I was new to marketing, had just transitioned, been promoted, and just relocated to New York, to our headquarters office. And he's on my team at the time. And I'll never forget, we're in a meeting, sitting around a boardroom table, a team meeting, right? We get out of the team meeting and we walk out of the room and we're walking down the hall. And he's like, hey, Britt, let me talk to you for a second. And we walk down the hall a little bit, the meeting after the meeting. And I'll never forget what he said to me. And I didn't even recognize that I was doing this. He said, you're in the room now and I'm going to need you to speak up. I didn't even realize that I was sitting through these meetings, now my second week in this new role. And I'm thinking, right, I'm learning, I'm soaking up all the information to make sure that when I do contribute, it's on point. All of the things that us as overanalyzers sometimes, right, can get ourselves into this, thought process that, we need to be perfect before we can contribute. And he's like, you're at the table now and I'm gonna need you to speak up. And I'm so grateful for his mentorship, but just for that moment of like, yeah, you're here, speak up. And from that moment on, I got really intentional about, if it's a 30-minute meeting, I need to use my voice at least once, right? I need to get familiar. The C is courage, clarity, and confidence. I put those three words together because we often think that we need to be more confident. I think we need to have more courage, right? Courage builds confidence. And the way that you become more courageous is in your doing, right? You build competence through actually taking action, right? To do the thing that you're like, I'm not really sure how that works, right? So the more you speak up, the more that you get familiar with your voice, you're going to have more courage and more confidence to do it more often. And last but not least, the E for voice, as we're getting more familiar with our voice, is every day. This is not a one-time thing. You're not going to watch this video and be like, okay, yep, I got it. I'm good to go. No, this is a daily commitment to say, how can I get more familiar with my voice today? That's the first thing I want to tell you. The second thing that I want to tell you is thank you so much. You all have been so kind. I posted this week about the Women of Influence Award, and I'm so honored that the Nashville Business Journal is recognizing me in the entrepreneurship category and so many other amazingly brilliant women in this region. And so thank you for your thoughtful messages. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the DMs and even the emails. Like, thank you. I really, really appreciate the support and the encouragement on this journey. Listen, if you are a leader that is looking to really cultivate a kind of culture where everyone in your organization can thrive, where you're not just focused on attracting diverse talent, but you really want to be committed to retaining that talent because you have an inclusive culture, then Career Thrivers is all about that life. And we want to partner with you to ensure that you're cultivating an even better culture. So make sure you reach out to us if there's any way that we can support the work that you're doing inside of your organization. Would love to do that at careerthrivers.com. Again, thank you so much for tuning into this video. And until next time, let's thrive together. Take care.